get that, how important some of these evaluations are. All right. A guy's opinion who I value a ton is my friend Adam Caplan. He joins us now here on the program. And that's kind of what you're looking at, isn't it, here, Adam, when you're looking at these games and these exhibition games here the weekend, right? I mean, you're looking at the game inside the game, right?
Yeah, good to talk to you, Dan. Yeah, it's really about the developmental players, rookie, first and second year players, and then the veterans. And I heard you mention AJ Epinesa, a guy like him who is right now the fifth edge rusher, but he's got positional versatility. In nickel, he could play inside on the D line. He's a run stopper. This guy's a former second-round pick. Guy's been a starter in the league, and this is a time for him to get good tape. And yeah, you're right. It's very, very important for those guys. And with Ebiketie, he's going to be on the team. They owe him over $4 million. They guaranteed for over $4 million, so he's going to be on the team. But he needs to show that he can do more than just rush the passer. Like there's certain things you have to be able to do in Vic Fangio's defensive scheme.
Do you believe that Jalen Hurts is going to run this new offense effectively enough to make this offense a better passing offense than what we've seen in the first 5 years of his career?
So Dan, you and I were on your show a couple months ago, and I said, look, I'm more optimistic than most people who cover the league or observers of the team. Yes, this is a big step up for him to play in a timing-based offense. He really has not been a timing-based passer. You see it occasionally, but not consistently enough. But I'm encouraged from what I've seen in training camp. I'm on the plus side of this, that he's going to get it, because he knows there's no going back to anything else. Like, this is their offense of the running. They're not going to change it. You don't do that once you start. So there's no going back to anything else. You've got to run this. He knows it. He sees it. He's taken to it. It's going to take time. It's going to take weeks for him to get it. But I'm encouraged from what I've heard and what I know and what I've seen. So to answer your question, I do believe he's going to get it. It's not easy. There's certainly, I certainly understand that people say he won't get it. I talked to some people around the league who think this is a questionable move by the Eagles to do this, and specifically the head coach, Nick Sirianni, who's bringing a guy that runs the West Coast system, who, by the way, Sean Mannion, only in his third year of coaching. So Dan, yeah, they've got a lot to overcome. It's not just Hurts. It's also a coach it's new to this, first time as a play caller.
Let's go to the talent, though, that's going to be there for Hurts to have to get this.
Yep.
And Mannion. If you were to start the season right now, you'd probably start the season with Devontae Smith, Dontavian Wicks, and maybe Darius Cooper or Elijah Moore.
Yep.
Is that enough to really move the needle to where you're really going to try to elevate that offensive passing game? It's really a step back, isn't it, from a year ago in talent?
Well, think about it right now, and don't forget, for almost 2 weeks, Devontae Smith isn't practiced. So it's two starting receivers since 2022 on. Over 4 years are not practicing. A.J. Brown was traded, and Devontae Smith can't practice with his hamstring injury. Then the guy they drafted in the first round, Mekhi Lemon. Now the question will be, how ready will he be for week one versus the Commanders, who I saw earlier this week? So there's a lot to overcome, no doubt about it. It's a concern. Darius Cooper's been even better than he was last summer. But the passing game, once everybody's healthy, it's going to be Smitty, it's going to be Goddard, it's going to be Lemon, Wicks, then Cooper. Listen, Cooper's been a great story. Former high school quarterback, was told at Tarleton State when he got there, if you want to make our team, you're going to have to switch positions. He went from quarterback to receiver. And Cam Bradfield, the Eagles' Southwest scout, you got to give this guy credit. Most people don't know this. He was not on any lists. He was not a All-Star game participant, non-combine guy. The guy found him. I don't know what he saw, but you got to give this guy credit. Darius Cooper's been phenomenal so far.
Don't you agree that the office politics plays a big role in this now, too, with Mekhi Lemon? I mean, if that guy's standing up, he's starting in the 3-hole, right? Even though he's missed all this time.
No doubt.
I mean, right?
No doubt. But he's got to get on the field. He this is the crazy thing. He's missed more practice time than he's been available for since he was drafted. That's not good. That's not good. So they got to get him ready. This is a new offense he's not played in. It's more complex. They're running West Coast verbiage. So he's got to learn that. And from being a football player, the quarterback's got to trust him. He's got to trust in Wicks. He's got to trust in Cooper, as we've seen obviously with Smitty. Hollywood Brown, we got to see more of. You mentioned him. He's got to show that he's a deep threat. Now they guaranteed $5 million, so he's going to be on the roster. but he needs to show that he can catch the ball downfield. He hasn't done a lot of that in training camp.
What's Eli Stowers' role in this camp? What's it going to be in this offense?
Yeah, he's not going to play a lot this season. He needs to learn how to block. Goddard's their starting tight end. Munt will be the Y. And Stowers obviously will be on the football team. Those are the three. And they may keep four guys, Cam Latu or Grant Calcaterra. They guaranteed about $750,000. It's not enough to keep him on the team. Latu, to me, is a better football player. He's number 36, who's a tight end. They don't really use a fullback. They use the F position, which is an offset fullback. It's offset tight end. It's really not a fullback. But so it's a little different than we've seen before. So it's Stowers to me is kind of like Zach Ertz as a rookie. Ertz played 41% of the snaps as a rookie. Zach couldn't block anybody as a rookie, became better at it, was never really good at it, but he became a willing blocker. And Stowers, we have to remember, this is only his 5th year as a tight end, former quarterback, and he's got to learn how to play the position at this level, and he's got to get stronger physically. He's a good athlete. I've seen that, but I just don't see him playing a lot as a rookie.
Do you agree that Jalen Hurts has become a more important role on Vic's defense than what Nolan Smith has become?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's been our guy since he was drafted. We were on him. I remember calling Greg Cosell. Greg worked for us from NFL Films. Everybody knows. And I said, Greg, can't tell you who the Eagles are going to draft, but you need to get on this guy and you need to get tape of him. I know it's hard to find Houston Christian tape, but he's going to go in the 3rd round. Don't know where. And then he just so-called he wound up being drafted by the Eagles. Who knew? And he's a stud. He's about a year ahead of schedule. And he's ready to be their breakout player in defense. You saw last year he led them, Dan, in sacks and interceptions. Who saw that coming? But, yeah, you're right. You're on it. I expect him to start over Nolan Smith, no doubt.
Jonathan Grenard has had one healthy season in 6 years, and you gave him 25 annual. I mean, boy, I'll tell you, they've had some not very good luck at times there going at that edge position, going back to Bryce Huff. Then they had great luck with Hassan Reddick and Jalen Phillips too. So we got to throw that into context. But boy, I mean, are you troubled by him not being out there? Especially you hear Vic saying we'd like him to do a couple more things.
Yeah.
When do you start getting concerned that, we're looking at maybe the first half of the season if he's not ready to go here?
Well, they've insisted, Dan, that he'll be ready for week 1 against Washington, but being able to play doesn't mean he's going to play full set of snaps.
Yep.
So with Grenard, you have to understand he's coming back from major shoulder surgery, and then the next injury he suffered recently was the pectoral strain. So that's not good. And we don't know if it's the same side of the body. It would really suck if it's Sergio on left and then pectoral strain on the right. That would really suck. So don't know what you can expect first 3-4 weeks of the season. The good thing for the Eagles is you've got a really deep group of Hunt, Smith, Ebiketie, Epinesa. They're fine. They'll get over that, but you don't have Grenard in terms of being 100% healthy. There's no way he's going to be even close to 100% early on. He could play. It sounds like he'll be able to play, but how effective he's going to be, as a football player, as you were a D lineman, this guy's an edge rusher, you got to be able to use your arms. You got to be able to pull. You got to be able to punch. You can be able to reach. This is questionable to me how effective he's going to be early on. I agree with you.
2 last questions here for our friend here, as we appreciate him finding us here, Adam Caplan here. Now, let me ask you this. 16.5 million people watched Jalen Hurts throw an interception. I've never seen more of an obnoxious thing in my entire life. How many passes do you think a quarterback throws in training camp? 1,000? I mean, why is he so polarizing like this? I mean, anybody else throws a pick in practice, no one cares. Hurts throws a pick, the entire world's going, "C sucks." Hey, wait a minute. That's Hollywood Brown. Everyone, what makes him this guy, in your opinion?
We at Inside the Birds, we've never got caught in that stuff. We're aware of it. Our job is to evaluate what we're told, what we know, what we see. It's kind of what we built 9 years ago on our platform. With Hurts, why is he polarizing? Because the guy's winning percentage is ridiculous, but he doesn't play 1 in 11 on 1 in 11. I mean, he's got 10 other teammates on offense, but he seems to, though it looks very ugly at times, Dan, if you watch him in the regular season, when it seems to matter, more often than not, he comes through. That's the thing that's very strange. That's the thing. It's if you just graded his tape, you go, how's this guy a top 10 quarterback? But he wins. And he answers the bell. He's tough. He's really mentally tough. That's the thing. But why is he polarizing? Because you see guys who play in the league who get into tape evaluation. They kind of rip them. They're very critical, but they're basically mostly on tape. I'm hoping they're not evaluating on a TV copy, because you can't evaluate anyone on TV copy. It's stupid. You got to evaluate on coaching tape. You know it, all 22.
Yep.
And I think guys also, sometimes when you're doing television, I learned this working in television over 20 years. You feel like sometimes you want to come out strong, whether it's fair or not. You're asking me the question. There are a couple guys in particular. I'm not going to bring up their names. I'm not trying to make headlines on this, but there are a couple guys I think sometimes who go all in. And sometimes, as someone else in the media business told me, he goes, I could tell he's not watching tape. There's one guy in particular, he's just guessing because Hurts had a bad game or didn't play well, and he watched TV. That he doesn't have the full effect. Like, I'll give you an example before I get out of here. The game against the Chargers where he had two turnovers in one play, which is impossible, but he did. He had 4 turnovers. He actually made some really great throws in that game. You wouldn't know that if you didn't watch the tape or talk to someone who watched the tape. He actually had some great throws. You don't grade off of hearsay. You grade off of what it actually looked like, and you go from there. And as a football player, it's all about the tape. And I as I continue to work in this business, I'm amazed at what some of the stuff that people say that's just not accurate. And here's the problem, Dan: they mislead people. I'm not saying Hurts is a good quarterback or great quarterback, but the guy wins. There's a reason for it. He answers the bell. Okay, does he need to be better? Yes, I know where you were going with playing the West Coast offense. I understand totally. When we had heard what it's going to look like, I was like, wow, that's a big difference. But I just felt that he knows this is it. He's got to get it. They would owe him under 30. They owe him about $24 million next year. That's guaranteed of a salary. You can get it. They're not that they would come. They find someone to take his contract, but there's no extension here if he doesn't play well. That's the bottom line.
Boy, I'll tell you, Adam, I appreciate all this here, and I want to close it out with this one here. Do you believe? I don't think he's an elite talent, but he has an elite intangibles when it comes to winning those games with the talent around him, and he knows how to cross the finish line. Is that a fair assessment of Jalen Hurts?
He's not an elite talent, but he's got some elite stuff. Mental toughness. If you and I ranked quarterbacks for mental toughness, he's probably my top 5, top 7.
Yeah.
That matters. Talk to any coaches, as you know. That bleep matters. But as a passer, very average. This is all tape basis. I don't make shit up. I just tell you, this is what I know. This is what I'm told. It's what I see. But yet you see isolated throws. You go, wow, he can do this. Best deep throw in the NFL in 2022. You know he's capable of doing it. Why can't he do it more consistently? I can't answer that. I don't even know if the guys who work with him can answer that. It's just he needs to be more consistent. But they win. He and Sirianni win together. His winning percentage is ridiculous. I understand that's not a stat and all that stuff, but it matters to coaches that the guy answers the bell. And we'll see what happens. But I'm more optimistic than I'm pessimistic with Jalen Hurts. Let's put it that way.
Adam, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you very much.
You got it, man.
You got it. That is